equal in the promised land and in the coming kingdom of Yah. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 2-Minute Torah, day number 5 of the Torah portion, Re'eh. Let's go into Devarim, Deuteronomy, however you pronounce, chapter number 15, and begin reading with verse 1 down through verse number 8. At the end of every 7 years, you make a release of debts. And this is the word of the release. Every creditor is to release what he has loaned to his neighbor. He does not require it of his neighbor or his brother, because it is called the release of Yahweh. Of a foreigner you could require it, but your hand is to release whatever is owed by your brother. Only there should be no poor among you, for Yahweh does greatly bless you in the land which Yahweh your Elohim has given you to possess as an inheritance. Only if you diligently obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim to guard to do all these commands which I am commanding you today. For Yahweh your Elohim shall bless you as he has promised you. You shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. You shall rule over many nations, but they do not rule over you. When there is a poor man with you, one of your brothers, within any of the gates in your land which Yahweh your Elohim has given you, do not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from the poor brother, for you shall certainly open your hand to him, and certainly lend him enough for his need, whatever he needs. So, let's consider what is being said here. Yah has taken Israel into the land of promise that he says flows with milk and honey. He is describing a land that experiences supernatural increase. It is filled with the abundance of houses that they did not build. There are vineyards that they did not plant. There are fields of grain and foods that they did not plant. There are cities that have already been built and walled up for protection that they did not have to build. And Yah is saying, you're going to go into the land, you're going to overtake the land, you're going to drive these people out, and you're going to enjoy the fruit of their hard work. You're going to work, you're going to sow, you're going to reap, and the land is going to give you an abundant increase, especially in the 6th year of each Shemitah cycle every 7 years. There's going to be a supernatural increase. And I'm promising you that you will get rain in the seasons in the early part of the year and the latter part of the year. Rain in their seasons, and the crops are going to be abundant. Your herds are going to be big. Your herds are not going to go barren. You're going to have first fruits to bring to me. You're going to have sons and daughters in multiple generations. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to guard over you. Perfect. Yes, it's an agricultural-based lifestyle, but the people were promised to be one of abundance and increase and satisfaction. How then do we then find instructions regarding how to treat the poor? Where did the poor come from? If every man, every house, every family is given a portion of land to work, everyone has a good and solid, equitable start. How is it then that there would end up being the poor among them? There has been a call in recent years, especially, for the across-the-board redistribution of wealth. That is, that we would take all of the supposed wealth in the world, divide it up equally between all people of the earth, or a nation as the case may be, and redivide the funds out. Can I tell you that history has proven that even if you did that, there would be those that would squander whatever wealth that they may have just come into. They would not know how to rightly invest those funds or deal with that wealth. And they would end up losing it to someone else. I don't know how long it would take, but those who know how to handle money, who know how to handle resources and opportunities and have a sense of ingenuity, they're going to end up with the larger slice of the pie, and those who squander and live for the next 5 minutes are going to end up with nothing all over again. That's human trait. That's just the way the human mind works for various groups of people. Then when poverty hits, they don't want to work, they don't want to try, they don't want to invest, they don't want to lay up for tomorrow, they don't want to do the hard things and discipline up front. When poverty hits, then it's somebody else's fault. But Yah says, when you see a brother that is in a bad estate, don't be stingy. Don't be hard-hearted at him. It mentions here that they would live in a circumstance due to the courts within the gates. That is in a place of jurisprudence, a place of some kind of a legal situation, a court reasoning. And out of the court, they would be deemed liable for paying back something or settling some debts. The word is, don't allow those that are poor to remain poor among you. This is hard work. This says to us, if you have means, if you have wisdom pertaining to your means, and you see that one that is not well trained, they've never been given an opportunity to learn what to do with their money, you should at least try to offer to them instruction and help. I have here in my bookcase books on finance. There are some very wise people who would talk to you about how to make your money work as hard for it as you do for it, or as hard for you as you do for it, I guess is the right way to say that. To learn how to invest your money and live off your investment and leave your principal sum still working for you. Most people don't get there. I'm not there yet. But there are better ways to manage your money than what most of us employ. Yah is calling upon us that have an ability to stay out of the red, to function without a overwhelming, overbearing debt, to know how to pay our bills and have something left over, then to help those who don't know these things. Let's just face it. There's a lot of folks perhaps that were not raised in a home environment where anybody was frugal, anyone used any financial responsibility. Anyone can have a bad crop. Anyone can have a job to go south. These situations sometimes are not of our own making, especially in those situations. It's not out of act of pity and feeling sorry for someone. It's genuine compassion. This is not where we just shake our head and say, you poor thing. No, we reach into our resources and say, let me help you fill in this hole that you fell into and get you out and stand you up on solid ground so that you can function again. It might mean investing in somebody's business. It might mean making a short-term loan to someone. It might mean assuming some level of their debt and helping them to get out from that responsibility. Or it could be, let me teach you how to do this. I had a case of a brother some number of years ago, had a long list of debtors. I said, you call them, tell them that you're going to pay them off. I will pray for you, pray with you about debt forgiveness, and this is what we're going to do. And I gave him an outlined plan. We're going to start with this debt and pay that one off and take the money that you were paying for that and add it to the next item on the list and work up the list until you're paid off. He called every one of his debtors. I can tell you that many of them said, write the debt off. You don't owe me anything. If you will be faithful, Yah will be faithful and help you. Shabbat Shalom. May your house be filled with His peace, His presence, and His rest. And we'll see you again next week.